All right, hey guys, it's me again. So I just wanted to give you a little bit, just explain what I'm doing with this roof to do what I consider a pretty high performance roof. And I'll get into the details about R value and what we have thermally broken, air barrier, and whatnot. But I consider a pretty high performance roof. It's also a durable roof, which I consider building performance, but by durability, I mean, there's a lot of, I designed this with consideration of condensation, snow load, potential snow and ice buildup damage, and all that stuff that could degrade your building over time. That might not be because when people think of building performance, we often only think of thermal performance, and with that air barriers and heating and cooling costs, but we don't think, also it goes into building performance is just the how long lasting the building could be and whether it's resilient to different changes that we might be seeing. But with this system, it still is a very affordable and pretty easy system to do as well. So anyway, getting into the meat of it. So first we have this insulated zip R sheathing. So this is an R 6.6, 1.5 inch zip sheathing. And I'll go down right now and just kind of show you what we have for this sheathing, and then the purlins below. And the purlins is what we'll be stuffing with. We'll have an 8-inch cavity in the purlin, and then we'll do 1x strapping underneath that. That'll get us a 9-inch cavity, and then we'll put R38 rock wool inside that cavity. And you could do fiberglass, which would be R30, and that's a lot more affordable than rock wool. But because we've been kind of saving money elsewhere in this building, we're going to be able to use the rock wool, which is a best-in-class insulation. But anyway, yeah, I'll go down and just show you what we have for those purlin system. All right, guys, so here, this is what I was talking about with the purlins. So they're 2x8 purlins, 24-inch on center, and it's rough cut 2x8. And I did kind of notch them in, kind of bird's mouth, if you can see that, into that rafter beam. And that's just to kind of give a little more meat to bite into. And yeah, and I needed not even 6 inches for the structural roof for the 10-foot span. I mean, it's plenty of, in terms of span, it's way more than, it can take way more weight than I need. And that's the 1.5 inch zip R sheathing, which comes out to be a R 6.6. So it's, I can get you here, if you follow me over here, here's some scraps just to kind of show you if you haven't worked with zip R before. There's kind of so it's that 1 inch of polyiso and then the 1/2 inch 7/16 zip. So they call it 1.5 inch, which is kind of confusing because I think of it as like 1 inch. It was 1 inch of polyiso, but Huber always describes it in the total thickness. So this is their 1.5 inch sheathing panel rather than just the thickness of the insulation. And so that's R 6.6. And so we put that up on the roof. It's definitely a big premium compared to the normal zip like this, in terms of cost. It's probably almost triple the cost. But it's just got that 2-in-1 structural, you have your structural sheathing, the air barrier on top, and then an inch of insulation to thermally break your interior framing. So, all right, now we go back up to the roof. All right, back up here on the roof. So yes, that's the purlin system, and then that's that zip R sheathing. So if we put in the R38 rock wool and then the zip R sheathing, we're gonna be at R46, R46. Sorry, what am I? It's a long day. We'll be at we're on R44, R45. And even with the fiberglass, we'll still be over R36. And this is just the garage. I'm not going to be in here all the time. I want to keep it, 60 degrees or so during the winter. You don't want pipes I actually don't have it plumbed, but I don't want the building getting below freezing temperatures. I don't want the concrete being subject to freeze thaw and everything, even though it's a frost protected slab. I don't, you know, I want to keep it at least 55, 60 degrees, even when I'm not in there. And then it's not, like I said, I'm not gonna be living there. But so even with the fiber, even if we do fiberglass, 9 inches of fiberglass, we'll still be at that, you know, R36, call it, with the zip R sheathing. So then on top of this, we have this rough cut 2x4s. These just came off my sawmill. I've got a Woodland Mills HM 130. Mostly hemlock, actually mostly spruce. This is all spruce and balsam fir. Most of this stuff spruce, and then some hemlock. And these, we just put 16-foot 2x4s on, and then we cut them off, snapped the chalk line, cut them all right off to length. So these 2x4s, we have them going up this channel, and then we have this massive venting channel. So it's a 3 full inches of airflow and venting. It goes right up to the ridge, and then we'll put the ridge cap on. So what that'll basically do is it'll keep my tin the same temperature as the outside air, so we won't have any chances of condensation coming from kind of warmth and humid warmth coming up from the building, hitting a cold condensing surface, and then condensing and then getting water in there. And even if that does happen, or if we have a small roof leak, we get some crazy wind that drives rain upside down and sideways and whatever, yeah, we'll have this massive 3-inch venting channel on top of the zip, you know, the zip weather resistive barrier. In addition to being an air barrier, it's a great weather resistance barrier, just like a Tyvek or Typar would be. And we have all that, so right, this will dry out pretty quickly is the idea. And now I did put this little bug screen in, just a cheap fiberglass. You know, I got this whole building was $20 of fiberglass at the hardware store in town. And I still have some left over. I just cut it down to 10-inch strips. And then I didn't even need that I could have done a narrow strip, but cut down those strips, just staple it on. And then I have this trim piece on top of my board and batten siding. This is all hemlock siding. And we have that trim piece right here just to kind of cover it up and secure it in place. And on the top, we'll get secured in place by the tin itself. And then this tin is, I mean, nothing's really cheap these days, but this is basically the most budget-friendly roof you can do. I was going to do more of a standing seam roof, or at least like a painted metal roof, but we just went with the Galvalume tin, because, yeah, I mean, it was just becoming a budget consideration. And because we went with that, this is $3 a linear foot. They're 15-foot sections. And so I spent like $2,300 on the roofing material, which really isn't that bad. That includes the screws and the ridge cap. And then because we did that, rather than spending like $6,000 on more of a standing seam roof, I'm able to do things like the upgrade to the rock wool. I think that'll give me more value long term. Now, it might not be the best for in terms of value add to your property if you're going to sell it, but I'm not planning on selling this property. I'm planning on using this workshop for the rest of my life. So, all right, yeah, that's just the quick update. Let me know if you guys have any questions down in the comments below, or if you guys do your roofing a different way, let me know. I'm really here to learn myself more than I'm here to share what I do, but that's part of it. Part of why I'm here on YouTube, to share what I do, hear from others, and let's go from there. So, yeah, hit the like, comment, and subscribe if you like this kind of content. Have a good one, guys. Bye.